kwamba imezungumzwa Tana River, kile kisanga ambacho inatembea kwa mitandao, lakini nimehakikisha nimepiga Tana River, nimempigia women rep wa Tana River, amenihakikishia si kwao. Hata kwa hiyo Keopa nimetuma hiyo video, huyo mama akisema ilikuwa akifanya tu mzaha, lakini mzaha huo wa maisha, kuchukua watoto kuweka ndani kwa mashimo, hakuna mzaha huo. Kwa hivyo si Tana River, nataka niwahakikishie si Tana River. Lakini kokote kule duniani ambaye mtu alifanya kisa kama kile, si sawa alivyofanya. Wanawake hapa Kenya wakipata haya masaibu, kwangu Lamu Mashariki inakuwa ni shida zaidi pale eneo na wakilisha, kwa sababu kwa changamoto za usafiri inasababisha shida hizi zikawa mara 10 ya yule mtu wa Nairobi anapata. Kwa mfano nitoe mfano pale Basuba, wodi ya Basuba, pahali parahisi mtoto akinajisiwa pale anafaa kulingana na zile kituo cha polisi anafaa kufika kulingana na maeneo yake ni Kiunga, lakini inakuwa kwake ni rahisi aende apitie Hindi, apitie Mokoe, aende paka Lamu, afike Lamu ndio ashtaki. Saa nyingine gharama inakuwa kama 7,500 kuchukua pikipiki kutoka Mangai upitie paka Hindi uende huko, ambapo anaenda sub county headquarter. Lakini ilikuwa naende Kiunga, lakini kufika Kiunga ni karibu, kufika ni karibu, lakini kwa sababu ya usalama au changamoto zingine hawezi fika pale. Sasa unaona mambo mengi yanafanyika, lakini inanyamaziwa chini kwa sababu anaona mimi nimeathirika hivi, kisha tena nitumie 7,500, kisha niende thibitisho ya kuonesha imeshapotea. Yani inakuwa changamoto zaidi. Kwa hivyo mimi nilikuwa naomba sisi hapa, mimi nimeenda paka kwa IG kwamba hii gender based desk iboreshwe. Naomba hapa sisi kina mama tuanzishe sheria ya kuhakikisha kuiweka nguvu ile gender based desk. Kila kituo kuweko na hiyo, na pale ambapo hakuna vituo tutafute mbinu zingine zaidi za kusaidiana. Maana yake majanga haya yamekuwa ni mingi, mengine yanasikitisha, mengine tunaweza kushughulikia, mengine hatuwezi kushughulikia. Na mengine paka viongozi saa nyingine ukisema unaambiwa wewe wanakutishia kwa sababu ni kura sisi tunatafuta. Wanakuambia unaingilia hii kesi na wajua nani yako ndani. So paka viongozi saa nyingine wanachukua hizo nafasi yao ya uongozi wakanajisi au wakatumia wale wanafunzi vibaya. Kwa hivyo hili tatizo liko na ni ukatili, na sehemu zingine zinakuwa na matatizo zaidi. Pia mimi ningeomba sisi kama kina mama au sisi wabunge tulioko hapa bunge, kama tunaweza pia kuipatia nguvu ile, kuna sijui inaitwaje kwa lugha ya Kiswahili, ile toll number ile 1195. Kuna namba ambayo ni ukiipiga unapata msaada. Saa nyingine tunapiga ukajieleza kwamba nimepata shida fulani, watakupa mawazo lipi la kufanya. Mimi ningeomba kama serikali inaweza ihakikishe imepatia nguvu sana, wapatie kama hata ni mandege, ikuwe kama ni kitengo kimepangwa cha kuwafikia wale waathiriwa kwa haraka, ingelikuwa vizuri sana. Hiyo 1195 inafanya kazi mzuri, lakini haina nguvu hivyo. Ingepewa nguvu zaidi ikafikia wale wahalifu haraka, tungeweza kusonga mbele. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Honorable Leah Sankaire, the Chair Keopa.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to support the motion and thank my sister, Honorable Naisola, for bringing up the motion. The issue of GBV and femicide has become not only a women issue, but it has become a national issue. It's an issue that needs our holistic approach in dealing with it, because it has become a disaster in our country. Honorable Speaker, it is worrying to hear of the numbers of the reported cases of femicide and gender-based violence. And I can say that even in the reporting, those are just reported cases, because we have thousands and thousands of unreported cases back at our homes and constituencies of gender-based violence and femicide. Honorable Speaker, it is becoming worrying and it's becoming threatening to wake up every day, and especially for the women leaders. Every single morning when you wake up, the first call you receive is of a woman or a girl or a boy that has undergone gender-based violence or has undergone femicide. Mr. Speaker, it's becoming a worrying trend in this country. Women's, children, and everyone's life, especially women and children, are in danger. You don't know who is next. Mr. Speaker, in the last 1 month, I have had to deal with about 4 or 5 cases in my county, which is very unfortunate. One of the cases was a woman who was working in Kiserian town, left her workplace at around 7 p.m. And the following morning, she was found dead in her house, and actually her house half burned. Mr. Speaker, when we were addressing that issue, the following week, another woman also working in Kiserian Market was also found dead in her house. Mr. Speaker, it is becoming unbearable. It is becoming unbearable. And it is wrong that women's lives, the lives of women and our children are in danger. And we need to do something, and we actually need to look into this issue, not just as a women issue, but as a holistic issue. Because where we're heading to as a country, it's becoming a national disaster. I think we should just announce as a national disaster so it can get the attention that it so requires, and actually get the attention that it requires, because it requires a lot of attention. Mr. Speaker, one of the issues that we're actually coming across when facing these cases is that each and every case in Kenya is actually bailable. You find a culprit that has been held in custody, but even the one that is actually being suspected of murder is given bail and goes out again to continue doing the things that they do. Those are the things that we need to change in this house to make sure that a perpetrator suspected of murder cannot be given bail or bond to get out and continue with the act. Mr. Speaker, it's becoming also it's so difficult, especially when we do not have DNA diagnostic centers in every constituency or in every county. And so most of these cases go unreported, and sometimes when you report them, they have to travel 4 kilometers away to go and look for a diagnostic center. Mr. Speaker, I think it's an issue that needs urgent attention. It's an issue that calls for national attention. It's an issue that calls for our judiciary, our police, our leaders, and everyone in this country to start speaking about GBV and look for ways to curb this thing, because it's becoming unbearable. Honorable Speaker, we are also requesting that the gender desks be moved from the police station to hospitals, because most of these cases, when they go to report at the police stations, you find that you have to go to the police station, back and forth to the hospital again, and back to the police station. We request that this gender desk be moved to the hospitals so that it becomes easy for the victims to report and actually be treated at the same time. And so, Mr. Speaker, these are the things that you are calling for reforms, and you are calling to be looked into, so that these victims don't go to the police station, report, and again go to the hospital, where they walk for long distances and even evidence is lost on the way. These are the things that you are calling for, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we also...
Mike. The Honorable Eve Obara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to contribute to this motion. And at onset, I support the motion, and also thank the mover, Honorable Lesuda, for bringing this very important motion. Mr. Speaker, over the last few months, on the wall of Kewopa, just Kewopa, we have seen cases after cases of women who are either killed or other assaulted, children who are assaulted in various areas. Mr. Speaker, we have also seen harrowing stories across the nation of women and men who have been killed by people who are expected to protect them. Mr. Speaker, recently there was a case in Busia where a lady was stabbed severally by her husband and killed in the full view of her child. Mr. Speaker, the husband went further to rape the house girl in the full view of the child again. So you can imagine, you don't even want to imagine what that child is going through at this moment. This is not the only case, Mr. Speaker. We've had cases of women thrown down balconies by men they met through social media. Some of them they are known, some of them they didn't know. And this has been going on for a long, long time, Mr. Speaker. And we have to speak up as women that this matter be addressed seriously by this nation. Mr. Speaker, I support my colleagues that we should have gender-based desks in each and every sub-county, and preferably to be manned by a lady, for the simple reason that women, by nature, are emotionally prepared sometimes to handle some of this or have sympathy to people who have been affected. Mr. Speaker, I come from a rural constituency. Mr. Speaker, we've also had cases of women being killed by men who have inherited them. Mr. Speaker, in one of my forums in the constituency, I asked that the chiefs or the SECs within the communities should insist on certificates of good conduct from some of these men who just appear from nowhere and they start living within the community. That there must be a certificate and they must say where they've come from, because some of them are even murderers. You remember the case of that lady from in Isili who was killed. Mr. Speaker, I remember the driver had come from Ethiopia and he had killed before coming to Kenya. And when he came to Kenya, he now camouflaged his background to be having been in the army. He was a good man. He was doing all these good things to the family of this lady. What did he do in the end? He killed her. So we must be vigilant as a community, as Kenyans, to make sure that these people who come within our communities must be reported. And if you know somebody who has done that, I'm asking all our people in the communities to make sure that they report them. Mr. Speaker, we should not forget that the border riders, I believe that they are our first line of security, because these people are the ones who know who has come to the community. Is this a visitor? They know all those things. So I believe the police should work very closely with the border riders to be able to root out or to remove these characters from society. Thank you very much. Once again, I support. Thank you.
The Honorable Timothy Toroitich.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to contribute on this very important subject. From the Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the Honorable Isuda for being such a pragmatic leader in this country, to be able to bring such a motion to address this pertinent matter. Honorable Speaker, however, in this country, many people misuse or misinterpret the term gender to mean women. Even in the drafting of our constitution, the way the drafters' mind was to interpret gender to mean women. But be that as it may, Honorable Speaker, the gender that has suffered in this country, insofar as violence is concerned, is the female gender. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, we, as a male, or as a man in this country, I wish to condemn femicide and gender-based violence in the strongest terms possible. Honorable Speaker, however, if you look at our Constitution, in particular Article 29 and Article 53, this issue has a foundation in our Constitution. For the avoidance of doubt, Honorable Speaker, Article 29C says that every person has the right to freedom and security of the person, which includes the right not to be subjected to any form of violence. That is Article 29. Honorable Speaker, Article 53 also says that every child has a right to be protected from abuse, neglect, harmful cultural practices, all forms of violence, inhuman treatment, and punishment. Honorable Speaker, therefore, my issue, and I wish to inform my Honorable Lesuda, we have enough legal framework in this country to protect those who are vulnerable. We have our Constitution, we have the Sexual Offences Act, we have the Anti-FGM Act, we have the Children's Act, and so many other enabling legislations in this country. The problem is the implementation. Our implementing agencies are sleeping on the job. When a matter is reported before a police station, when a matter is taken to court, what happens thereafter? So, Honorable Speaker, the problem are the implementing agencies in this country. We have a sufficient legal and institutional framework in this country to address this issue. Honorable Speaker, however, as a House, we must stand up and call out those agencies that do not apply the law effectively, that do not enforce the law appropriately, so that they can be called out and action be taken against those who are not enforcing the law appropriately. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Beatrice Elachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support this motion and to thank the Honorable Naisula Lesuda for indeed bringing in a topic at a time when we are facing a lot of challenges, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, just this weekend, Purity Momanyi in Kawangware was really, really battered by the husband. And these were reasons because of economic stress, Mr. Speaker. But you see, Mr. Speaker, this issue of femicide has now, you find that it is so normalized because it's always victim blaming. And you find that it is very difficult sometimes even to face and wonder, what do you do? Because when you go to court, you, like now, I know Purity is in court, it will take a while for her to just find justice in that. So, Speaker, the other thing that you face in the whole issues of gender-based violence is intimate partner violence. And this is the intimate partner relationship, which is very common and a very tough sight when you look at partners, how they are living. It even goes beyond our age, gender and age dynamics are also part of the biggest challenges that we face. But more importantly, the numerous challenges we face now is when now you find the victim and the perpetrator. They are families, they are living together. You'd wish to indeed try and get a solution for them. But because of our cultural norms, again, you find those are barriers that are facing a lot of women in this country. I mean, I looked at the video for Our Lady in Narok. Very serious cultural barriers. But you look at the whole scenario, you find there's a lot to be dealt with, as much as you are moving to see how do we get solutions. And so even as we appreciate, and I want to thank the President, because the President was able to give each woman in this August House resources, Mr. Speaker, to go out there just to create awareness. But I want to also say this. As much as we've created that awareness, you've met people, trust me, Mr. Speaker, there is a lot to be done. A lot to be done. And it is important for us to know that as much...
Honorable Achi, did
Yes,
you say there are resources for awareness?
well, I wouldn't say there are resources. Well, there are, yes, resources for awareness that were given by government, not the president himself. He was part of those who were advocating that government should see how to support him. And they supported as government. I was just appreciating because he was the advocacy person number one to ensure that those resources have come. But it was from government coffers, not from the president himself and not the president giving. But having said that, and it is one thing that you have seen all women going around, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that we just first create awareness for people to understand the magnitude of this. And this came in when every day you would watch media, the only first statement you'll see is a girl from the university killed in Nakuru, killed in Nairobi, killed in Baringo, killed. I mean, no county today can stand and tall and say they have not seen femicide in their counties. And so we need to go back and ask ourselves, Mr. Speaker, what is this that we have lost from the African context that we had? And so as I support Mr. Speaker, I just want to appreciate and say the police still needs a lot of capacity and strengthening. With those few remarks, I beg to support.
The Honorable Jerusalem Omanyi, you can make it brief so that many members speak to it.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for according me this chance also so that I can also support this motion, as I appreciate Honorable Naisura for bringing this very, very important motion. For sure, as women members or as women leaders, there is no single day when we have not received reports of gender-based violence in our constituencies, in our counties, and every day we see reports, we hear reports, and most people who are affected are the young girls, the young ladies and the young mothers. This has been sometimes because of the hard economic times that we have. And of course, when we go deeper, we have come to understand that there is something which is going on wrong within our communities. Because life is sacred. And even in our culture, whoever could take life, that person was to be segregated. But, Mr. Speaker, these days, a person kills, is taken to the courts, and within a short time, you find that person has come out and walking around and does not care. So we are perplexed, Mr. Speaker, that the gender-based violence and the rate at which it is growing, it is so alarming that as Kenyans, we have to ask ourselves, where did our values go? What is going on? Like in my county, 2 weeks ago, we buried 4 people of the same family because a boy and a girl who had married and maybe had suspected that they were not staying well, tried to depart. That made that young man to take the life of the young girl and then take the lives of both the parents and the child of that young man. That means with the level at which the femicide has grown is too high, that as a government and as a country, we need to ask ourselves and then come back and look for solutions. For example, our president, of course, had given a go-ahead from Treasury, and we got some money, which made us to go out and do campaigns. but the campaigns were not enough. We have agencies which are supposed to make sure that the law which protects life, the law which is supposed to make sure that each person is protected, that these agencies are not actually doing their job properly. We don't know whether it's because they lack money or what they are lacking. But we want to ask, as a parliament today, that we all rise up and know that these things are giving the Kenyan government a very bad name out there. Because every day in our news, we must get information that a girl has been raped, her man has killed the husband, and this is going on, and every day we are getting news which is very sad news. That's not the news that we need as Kenyans. We need to rise up and make sure that the gender-based violence, the femicide which is increasing, has got a solution so that we can take care of the lives of our people. Thank you, and I support this.
The Honorable Fatma Masito, and because of the overwhelming interest, it's 3 minutes. Proceed.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipatia fursa hii. Nami niunge mkono hoja ambayo imeletwa na Mheshimiwa Naisula Lesuda. Kwa kusema ukweli, Mheshimiwa Naisula, wewe ni shujaa. Hili jambo la ubakaji, ulawiti na mauaji ya wanawake limegonga vichwa vya habari, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, sasa hivi sijui ni shetani gani ameingia binadamu. Mtu anaweza kuua mke wake, kitu ambacho tulikuwa tunajua mwanamke ni mtu ambaye mume wake amemthamini sana na yeye ni chombo cha yeye kupata starehe. Mwanamke inasemekana katika Qur'ani takatifu ni mtu ambaye analeta amani ndani ya nyumba. Mwanamume akiwa na mwanamke analeta furaha ndani ya nyumba yako. Wewe unatoka nje, ukija kutoka kazini, ukija kutoka mahali popote umetoka, ukiingia ndani ya nyumba, ni matumaini makuu. Qur'ani inasema unapata utulivu ndani ya nyumba yako. Lakini tunashangaa sasa hivi ulimwengu mahali umefika, na hususan katika taifa letu la Kenya, mwanamume anaweza kuua mke wake. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni jambo la kuhuzunisha sana. Mheshimiwa Spika, tukiangalia swala la ubakaji na ulawiti ambao umekita mizizi katika taifa letu, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, tunashindwa wanawake waliojaa katika hili taifa ambao wako tayari kupeana huduma. Lakini mwanamume anakwenda kuchukua mtoto mdogo, mtoto wa chini ya mwaka mmoja, mtoto wa miaka 5, mtoto wa miaka 12 ambaye hata hajui ile starehe iko wapi, lakini yeye amepata mahali pa kufanya starehe. Mheshimiwa Spika, tunasema swala hili sisi kama wanawake na wanaume ambao tuko katika bunge hili ambao ni viongozi, tunalilani vikali swala hili la mambo ya ubakaji na ulawiti na mauaji ya wanawake. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa kusema ukweli, sheria ziko tu nyingi sana katika taifa hili. Tukiangalia sheria yetu ya mwaka 2020 ina sura nzima ya kuzungumzia haki za binadamu, haki za kuishi, haki za watoto, lakini bado watu wanapuzilia mbali. Mahakama bado pia haitilii nguvu swala hili. Tuna sheria ya watoto ambayo tunaita Children's Act, tuna FGM Act. Hizi zote ni sheria ambazo zinaweza kutulinda sisi kama wanawake, sisi na watoto wetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, Waswahili wanasema uchungu wa mwana ujuae ni mzazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, nikizungumza hivi nasikia ule uchungu kama mzazi nikiona vitendo kama hivi vinafanyika. Nina vilani vikali vitendo hivi, na ninasema serikali yetu ya Kenya tukiongozwa na rais wetu ambaye najua analizungumzia sana sala hili, na mpaka alifika wakati akasema nitawezesha wanawake katika bunge hili kuweza kupigana na swala hili, kuweza kulizungumzia nyanjani swala hili. Pia nasema mahakama, shikeni nafasi yenu. Serikali, mapolisi, shikeni nafasi hii. Pindi masuala haya yanapoletwa mbele zenu, jifikirieni nyinyi kama wazazi. Jione wewe kama polisi, ingekuwa ni mtoto wako amefanywa vile ungesikiaje? Angekuwa ni mke wako ameuawa ungesikiaje? Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nimeona kisa cha mwanamke ameuawa na mume wake.
The Honorable Sabina Chege. interest ni kubwa sana. Wacha tumsikize Sabina Chege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want also to congratulate my sister, Honorable Lesuda, for bringing up this motion. Mr. Speaker, as we speak about gender-based violence, as somebody has said, this affects both women and men. And Mr. Speaker, just last week, a lady woke up in the morning and she suspected that her husband was having an affair with another lady. She took her 3 children, stabbed them. 2 of them succumbed, Mr. Speaker, and 1 is still fighting for the life in the hospital. And she also was trying to take away her life. Mr. Speaker, I just want to say, as we say what the law should do, as we also emphasize that we must have these desks at the police center, whether it's male or female police officer manning this desk, the most important thing is for them to be trained on being human. Because we know there are also some female police women who might not have the empathy to handle these victims. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I feel that we need to really have every district hospital to have a proper mental health facility. Mr. Speaker, initially when we were growing up, when we spoke about mental health, people thought it's that somebody who was mad, somebody who is in the streets or at the marketplace, or somebody who looked untidy and shaggy, and that the person was thought to be suffering from mental illness. But Mr. Speaker, due to pressures of life, due to many things that people are facing, some have lost jobs, some have issues in life, it can be even family breaking. Some of them are not able to manage themselves, Mr. Speaker, and somebody suffers silently with mental health. And we find that a man would wake up one day and cut into pieces or chop into pieces the wife. Or a woman would wake up one day and kill all her children. Mr. Speaker, we have seen bodies of women being seen in the rivers, and this has also happened in my county once again. We have seen elderly women being raped, Mr. Speaker. I just want to say, as we look at the laws, let us also look how we can be able to assist and help in mental health, and especially that attention to be emphasized that every level 5 hospital must have a properly well-facilitated department so that we can help our citizens. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Florence Simatia.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I also want to thank Honorable Naisula for this very important motion before us. And I must say it's very timely, as most members have spoken before me. I want to also reiterate that it is high time for this country to sit down and call a very important conversation on this GBV and domestic violence matter. If you look at the occurrences of the day, unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, it gives me an imagination that I think we are living in a society where men have stopped being in charge. I am a pastoralist, and many of the times we used to listen to what our fathers and men like uncles give direction in many ways. And if you talk about FGM, for instance, early marriages, like the one that occurred in Narok, this was done by young men forcing a girl. I mean, it is now looking like men are the consumers of these incidences. For a small girl to be raped by a man. For a forceful marriage, to be married by a man. A cat girl to be married by a man. It's all when men in the society are not up to the task. This is what most of the time we realize, and the occurrences are happening today is because we are calling upon men to be in charge and help love their counterpart, which are women in the society. Women are becoming victims every day, and it's because how you treat your wife or your daughter. Unfortunately, men, or fortunately enough again, men love their daughters when they are very young. Their attachment with their fathers is so much that you wonder what really happens when they grow up. And to the extent that now they can easily, like in the house, you realize we are almost speaking to ourselves as women, but we always know men love girls. as their daughters. This should reflect in everyday activities, and they should also help us in the campaign. We probably not necessarily need to see women on the campaigns calling for stop of GBV. We should also see men, taking microphones and telling the society that it is high time this thing should stop. And for that, Mr. Speaker, I want to also say I am supporting taking the responsibility of every district hospital, every level 4 or county hospital to have this desk, that instead of a victim going.
So where the men, the Honorable Rashid Bedzimba.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kunipa fursa na mimi kuweza kuchangia mswada huu na kupenyeza sauti yangu ya kukemea na kulani unyanyasaji wa kijinsia. Na hili swala si swala la wanawake peke yake, kwa sababu hili ni swala letu sisi sote kama taifa, kwa sababu hii ni janga la kitaifa. Na wale wanaochukua hatua ama kuchukua sheria mikononi mwao kufanya ukatili dhidi ya wanawake, wale ni wahalifu. Wako wanaume ambao wanaishi na wanawake kwa kipindi kirefu. Mimi mwenyewe Mheshimiwa Spika nimeoa sasa, nafikiri ni miaka 40, niko na mke wangu na tunaishi, tumezaa watoto wake kwa waume. Kwa hivyo wale wanaofanya jambo kama hilo, wale wenyewe ni mashetani na ni wahalifu na wanatosha kupelekwa katika vyombo vya kisheria. Na pia vile vile hii matatizo ya unyanyasaji hauko tu kwa watoto wa kike, hata watoto wa kiume hivi sasa wadogo wanakuwa wanalawitiwa kwenye sehemu ambazo wanaaminika kwamba pale wako salama, lakini pia hawako salama. Kwa hivyo hili ni jambo ambalo ni janga la kitaifa. Hata saizi ukiangalia runinga zetu za kitaifa, habari kila siku lazima kuna tatizo la mauaji, liko matatizo ya ubakaji, iko tatizo, wengine ni watu ambao wa karibu sana ambao huwezi kuamini kwamba unaweza kumtenganisha na watoto wako ama na ndugu. Hilo ni jambo la makosa sana. Kama kuna wakati ambao vijana ama kaka wanampiga dada kwa sababu wanamlazimisha aolewe na mtu asiyokuwa hana mapenzi naye, hiyo ni hatari kubwa. Unaweza kuwa unafanya suluhisho la karibu, lakini hatari kubwa huko mbele na ukwenda, alafu inakuja matokeo ya mtu kuuawa. Kwa hivyo mimi ningesema kwamba serikali inatakiwa kuweka sheria kali kwamba mtu yoyote ambaye atafanya jambo hili au atawekwa kizuizini na hata pewa dhamana, bora kuwe na uhakika kwamba lile jambo yule mtu amelithibitisha, ili kuwe na ulinzi, kwa sababu vizazi vyetu sasa vinakuwa na hofu. Wanakuwa hamuamini mjomba, hamuamini mshangazi, hamuamini jirani. Wakiangalia habari ni hofu, na hizi inakwenda katika mataifa tofauti ya nje. Wanaoangalia habari zetu wanaona kama sisi hatujastaarabika. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nasimama kulani kitendo hichi na kusema hao ni mashetani kuwekwa kizuizini. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
The Honorable Lilian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance to contribute to this motion by Honorable Lesuda. I also stand to say that I condemn the act, and I know we've been condemning and will keep on condemning. But as much as we are condemning the act, Mr. Speaker, I don't think we will find the solution to this problem, not unless we change the policies. The time that we accepted that rape case and murder case be bailable is the day that we spoiled the entire thing. Mr. Speaker, we have seen people kill and they come back home and they mingle with people. We bury the victims and this person is still there and he continues and even threatens and even commits more other offenses. So, Mr. Speaker, I think that it is a high time that we change our constitution and ban anybody who has killed or raped just be imprisoned to death. And I think we would have saved this country, Mr. Speaker. I am speaking like this because we have a case in Trans Nzoia County, a constituency called Saboti. In 1 month, we lost 2 girls. One 4 years who was raped, defiled, and murdered. Then another one who is 7 years, she was raped and murdered at the same time. And again, when we arrested the suspect, that we are not so sure if he's the victim or not. I don't know who went ahead again and took the child of that suspect. The child, who is 7 years, a boy, was murdered and his private parts cut and thrown apart. So, Mr. Speaker, as we speak, the cases of, we can't even say femicide only. Right now, it's like it is I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it is a cult, but something is wrong. People are being killed. On daily basis, we hear everywhere here, children have been killed, women are being killed, our girls are being killed. And I think the best thing to this problem is to come up with a new policy to ensure that the victims are jailed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is the Honorable Kibet Kimingo in the House? And then let's have, yes, Toto is there? Yes. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity to also rise and support this particular motion. Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate my sister, Honorable Lesuda, for this particular motion. For sure, for the first few months, we have been able to witness so many cases of femicide, defilement cases, and the GBV. Just to put across some example, in my county, there is one lady. She was teaching in Kamurito High School. She was killed by her husband, and up to now, the family have never gotten the justice. Just last week, in the same sub-county, in Rongen and Manaret ward, there is one boy by the name Emmanuel Kimutai. He was killed by his father, and we say, may his soul continue resting in peace. We have so many cases, Mr. Speaker. We also have a lady from Bomet East. She was teaching, she was an ECT teacher. She was also killed. We have another one called Evelyn Ruto, and so many, Mr. Speaker. Because of time, we want to say we really condemn this act with the strongest term possible. And as I conclude, I really want to urge the government through the Ministry of Gender to build equipped rescue centers in each and every county so that we reduce these cases, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, and I support.
What is it, the Honorable Chamatia?
Mr. Speaker, according to Standing Order number 35, Mr. Speaker, I am restricted by members. Maybe I can seek for your guidance before, but I would really wanted.
You know, once you pronounce 35, you must proceed. Those are the standing orders.
Time after chair taken, the House is in the committee, I realized, Mr. Speaker, that we don't have enough quorum to take most of the procedures in the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. The Sergeant at Arms ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes. Honorable members, once quorum is pronounced, once 35 is pronounced, then the Speaker must rise to the occasion and check out if there's quorum. And indeed, I confirm there's no quorum, and therefore ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, no member can get out of the House now, so proceed.